Right. Minor scales and minor keys is what we're talking about in chapter 7. So, if you haven't done so already, please pull up the lecture slides that correspond to this video called Chapter 7 Slides, found in Canvas. And then let's begin. Let's start off this lecture by talking first about the natural minor scale. A little bit later, we're going to talk about something called the harmonic minor scale and the melodic minor scale, which are all kind of related, but all a little bit different also. So, the natural minor scale. First of all, the minor scale is the second most common scale in Western music, right? Remember, the major scale is the first most common in Western music. The minor scale is also a diatonic scale, like the major scale is. And what does that mean? That means that the minor scale has one and only one note with each letter name of the musical alphabet, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. In its natural form, or pure form, as in the natural minor scale that we're talking about now, we find half steps from the second and third scale degrees and the fifth and sixth scale degrees. So if we look at the scale that's here on slide number 1, we see 8 scale degrees, and between the second and third and fifth and sixth, that's where we have our half steps, and all the rest of the scale degrees are have whole steps between them. Right? This particular scale would be played as such. Let's talk a little bit more about that now on the next slide. So you can hear the natural minor scale by playing the white keys beginning on A and ending on A, like the one I actually just played. So if you have a keyboard, pause this video and try that. We're going to start on A, the one that is above middle C, right? Here's middle C, here's my A, and just play all the white keys from here to the next highest A. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, right? And that is an A natural minor scale, okay? And while you're practicing that, notice where the half steps and whole steps are on your keyboard, right? You have your from 1 to 2, or from A to B is a whole step, and then we have from B to C is our half step, right? And then from C to D is a whole, then D to E is whole, and then E to F, remember, is a half step, right? And that's from 5 to 6, and then 6 to 7, or F to G, is a whole step, and then G to A is another whole step. So that's your A minor, A natural minor scale. All right, moving on to slide number 3. Let's look at a piece of music that is based on the natural minor scale. In fact, let's look at Wayfaring Stranger, which is the melody of which is on slide number 3. You can also find it in your book on page 280. But this particular melody is based on the natural minor scale. So let's go to our next slide here. Okay, so what you should do is listen to this melody while you observe the music. So follow along with the music either on the previous slide or in the book, and click on the link and listen to this melody. And so you can pause this video, go ahead and do that. And then when you come back, look a little closer at the melody. Notice that if you were to make a list of the pitches, you would come up with D, F, G, A, B flat, C, and D. And also notice that it's missing E. Okay, so Wayfaring Stranger, after you've listened to it, perhaps you even tried to play it a little bit, you notice that the collection of pitches is D, F, G, A, B flat, C, and D, and there's no E. Okay. And also notice that, okay, what's the tonic, right, or the keynote for Wayfaring Stranger? Now I'm on slide number 5 here. So remember, we can find the tonic in most cases by just looking at the very last pitch. So what is the last pitch here? We have D. So D is actually the tonic. It's the final note of the song. And also, maybe more importantly, it's the tone that feels like the point of rest. The point at which the song feels like it's ended or concluded. So Wayfaring Stranger, the tonic is D. And so let's go to slide number 6 now. So if the pitches of Wayfaring Stranger are in the scale are listed with D as the beginning and ending, right, because it's the tonic, the following scale emerges, right? What do we have here? We have one that starts on D and ends on D, and notice that the 6th scale degree has a flat sign, so it's played as a B flat, and it's going to go D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. And notice here in the scale form that we have it here on slide number 6, the missing pitch E from the pitch collection that makes up Wayfaring Stranger is filled in. And remember, we talked about this in the last chapter, I think, with the simple gifts, that melodies don't always contain all of the scale degrees, right? And in the case of Wayfaring Stranger, it contains all of them except for E. All right, so let's move on to slide number 7 now. So notice if you compare the pattern of half and whole steps to the scale we played in slide number 2, remember the A minor scale, the one starting on A and ending on A? The pattern of whole and half steps are the same as in this scale that Wayfaring Stranger is based on, right? So the pattern of whole and half steps goes, well, we have whole, and then a half, and then a whole, and then a whole, and then a half, and then a whole, and then a whole, right? So, and that's going to be called a D natural minor scale. All right, and so that is, that's it for natural minor.